Hi guys, and welcome back to another video on the DMJ Sports Show channel. Today on Fridays I'm going to start doing a prediction for some of the sport events for the week or the weekend, sorry. So yeah, why not start today? What we've got this weekend, we have the F1. You know, it's my first love. I grew up watching the F1. It's the Mexican Grand Prix, if you didn't know. For that I'm going to choose my podium. So I'm going for a Max Verstappen win, followed by a Perez second. Obviously, it's home race. I don't think he'll win. I don't think Red Bull will give him priority over Max, because Max is obviously fighting for the championship. And then third, I've got two people I'd like to see finish third, and that would be Hamilton or Lando Norris. Obviously, I'm not a huge Lewis Hamilton fan. But I want to keep the championship as close as possible going into the last race. You know, as I could potentially be going in December, so we'll have to wait and see for that. But yeah, I can't choose between Hamilton and Norris. If I was to choose outright, I'd want Norris. But because the title is so close, I want Hamilton to at least get a couple of points to stay within a decent distance that it can potentially come down to the final race in December. So yeah, that's simple as that. And Norris, who races for my favourite team, McLaren. Simple as that, really. Let's move on to the UFC, which happens at the early hours of Sunday morning. Main event, Usman versus Colby for the second time. I think the result's going to be very similar in that it's going to be a Usman win, but this time I think it's going to be done by TKO. I think Usman's too technical for someone like Colby, and especially Colby because he's very, he's not as calculated as someone like Usman. I just think Colby's just, he's too hot-headed. He'll go in expecting to get the knockout. He'll run his mouth, as he has done before, and he's just going to lose another fight. Simple as that. Then obviously we've got Rose defending her title against Zhang, which she lost to the first time she was champion. I think this can be a different result this time. I think Rose will come out winner, but she'll go the distance. I think she'll go the full 5 rounds, and I think that will be an absolute war. Rose are outrated massively. She's probably one of my favourite female fighters in the UFC right now. So, yeah, Rose to win by decision. And then the last fight I'm going to predict of the UFC is Michael Chandler versus Justin Gaiji. Now, I rate them both massively. Gaethje's an absolute beast, but so is Chandler. So it's quite a difficult fight, but I am going to edge it towards Chandler via KO. How soon does that come? I wouldn't like to predict, but I think it will be done within the 5 with Chandler getting the knockout. Simple as that. Now let's move on to the football. Let's start with La Liga. So with football, I've chose 3 leagues and 2 games in each for this week. Keep it quite simple, really. So for La Liga, I'm with Atletico Madrid, obviously current La Liga champions, to beat Valencia, and that will be I reckon a 2-1 win for Atletico Madrid. Yeah, I don't need to go into details about football. I spoke a lot about football the past few days. It's probably going to be the main sport. Football and F1 and UFC are going to be the main sports, but mostly football. So yeah, Atletico to beat Valencia 2-1, and then we have Real Madrid versus Rayo Vallecano, which I think it's kind of obvious who I'm going to pick there, and that's going to be Real Madrid, and I think it's going to be a 3-0 win. Potentially Benzema to score 2, but I could be wrong. Like I say, I'm quite bold on some of my predictions. So let's move to Liga, and we've got PSG versus Bordeaux. I think there's no question that PSG will win this game. I think, yeah, there's too much class in that team not to beat a team like Bordeaux. I'm in France. I live in France, and I watch quite a bit of French league football, obviously, and yeah, I don't see Bordeaux even getting close to PSG this time around. Let's go on to my city, Lyon. They're away to Rennes, which is a place close to where I used to live and work. I've got Lyon to beat Rennes convincingly. You know, I've been a huge fan of Lyon for a long time now. Even before I lived in France, it was my French team. I always used to watch them back in the days of Jorginho. It's phenomenal, right? Channel 4, big up Channel 4 for the French League highlights on a Sunday morning. Phenomenal. So yeah, that's for me is the European predictions. So we've got Atletico to beat Valencia, Real Madrid to win 3-0. I think PSG will beat Bordeaux, like I said, but I think it'll be like a 2-0 win. And I think Lyon will win 1-0. I just don't think they have the firepower now. Memphis Depay is at Barcelona. Moving on to the Premier League. First game I'm going to try and predict is West Ham versus Liverpool. Both teams playing really well so far this season. West Ham especially when it comes to Europe. They're elevated to another level at the minute, and you know, currently unbeaten in Europe, 3 wins, 1 draw in the Europa League, and putting some solid performances in the league as well. So it's a difficult one. Obviously, Liverpool, you know, we everyone knows the quality of Liverpool. As much as I hate to say it, yeah, they're a really good side. But I'm going to go for a draw because it is at West Ham, and I don't know. I think West Ham are quite solid overall, not just necessarily because they've got home advantage. I just think as a team, as a squad, they're very solid. So I'm going to go for a draw in that game. And then the big one, I think, really is this weekend is the Manchester derby at Old Trafford. This is an interesting one because, you know, it's the problem I find with Man United is that they seem to win, especially recently, not necessarily. So I think post Fergie, it's been very difficult to pinpoint the games that Man United can win because they're just so unpredictable now. But when the chips are down, they seem to win. Obviously, got Ronaldo scoring last-minute winners or equalisers. So I'm still going to edge towards City to win this, and I think they'll do it in a way that Liverpool beat them the other week. I think, you know, Ollie obviously went to Spurs and put a very good performance in, and obviously he thinks his job's secure and safe. But I don't think that's going to be the case. I think Pep and the rest of the City team are going to go there and go, well, let's do a Liverpool and just toy with them. Let's get like 4 or 5 goals in early, and then let's just play with them. Let's just toy with them. Let's get let's have a bit of a training match essentially. I don't rate Man United at all. I think Man United have a lot of problems towards the back of the line. In the likes of Maguire, Fred, McTominay. I don't rate the 3 massively. I think Maguire, I've said this before, Maguire does phenomenally well for England, but doesn't really do put them performances in for Man United. You could argue it's a price tag. You know, he's got to try and live up to the price tag that Man United paid for him. It could have an effect on him, but you know, who knows? But I'm going for a convincing City win this weekend. And then I think it will be close to that. I think, you know, it will be interesting to see what Ollie does next. But there is rumours that Fred's got a bit of an injury, so we're looking like Van der Beek might actually get some game time this weekend, which I think will be great for him. I think he's a great player. I watched quite a few of his games in the Netherlands when he was playing for Ajax. So yeah, hopefully get some game time. If not, I think he'll definitely want to leave in January. So yeah, that's my predictions. So yeah, hope you have a great weekend. And I'll be back with another video on Monday. Till the next one, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you later.